Hey guys, it's Tammy. Today I'm out here. I'm going to be talking fast because there's 3 different herbs I want to hurry up and get in today, just because I'm using them to make a blend for a tea that I'm wanting to make. And this here is a tulip poplar tree, and I'm harvesting some of these young little buds that's coming out on the tree before they start leafing out. That's a little too small there, but that's the idea of what I'm doing with it. This tree, poplar is good for carving out different things, like if you make wooden spoons and bowls and stuff like that. This wood's really good for that. And I've got some that's laid out to dry out for that very purpose. It's also good for cordage. The bark itself is good for cordage, and also using that to make baskets and stuff with, which is something I really want to do within the next year or two. Something I've been eager to do for a while and just haven't really got to do it. Um, the properties behind this, it is edible. It's not a very palatable thing, not the buds that I'm getting especially. Um, I haven't actually tasted the bark, but I think it might be a little bit better when it comes to flavor wise. But with the bark, I like to make a tincture from it. And that's what I generally would do with that, as just a tonic, a all-around tonic, because it's so good for many different things that if you've got this one tonic and don't have nothing else, you've got a good tonic, because it's so good for different things. Like it helps with appetite if you've lost your appetite. Fevers, it helps with that. It actually heats your body up, therefore it causes it to operate through your lymphatic system, which is the main reason I'm wanting to make a blend tea out of this, is to use with some of my other favorite lymphatic herbs that I can make this with. And this will be the first year that I add this to my lymphatic tea, so I'm excited about doing that. A lot of things you can get from the bark, as well as these little buds that I'm getting. The bark itself is supposed to be really good for malaria. There's a lot of studies that says it's really helped a lot with malaria. Toothaches it's supposed to help with. I've not tried it for that. Stomach problems, digestive, therefore, altogether. Rheumatism, and it's actually also a good dewormer, which it's not something I've added to my dewormer that I use for my animals, but I probably ought to. But the goats eat the far out of it anyway, so, there you go. That's why I always say this land was just perfect for goats, because there's so many things on this property that are already automatic dewormers, and so that's just cool to me. I won't go into that, but anyway, this is one of them, and I want to show you a couple others. And I don't mean to rush through these, because there's so many different things I'd like to share with you in these, but I really want to get these 3 out, and hopefully we can make another time where I can go into depth with more of these things. So let's get with it. Okay guys, here I've got something I'm excited to show you, and this is Cleavers. Cleavers, if you can tell, you see it real close how it's made out to be. One of the sure ways to know whether you've got Cleavers or not is if it clings to you. See how that clings? It's got like even touching it, it feels like it's got like a little bit of a stick to it, but it will stick to you. It don't stick you, it just lays there like it's got a real thin glue or something on it. So this is Cleavers. And why I'm so excited about Cleavers is this, like I said earlier with the popular, this is good for your lymphatic system. I'm going to dry this to make a tea with. You can also make a tincture out of it, just like with any of the others that I mentioned to you. But not only is it good for your lymphatic system, because with the lymphatic system, you're dealing with your liver, you're dealing with your kidneys, you're dealing with your swollen glands, glands in your neck, and you even have lymphs right in here. It's known to help get rid of cysts and stuff like that. And water retention, it's good for water retention, it's good for PMS, which I've used it for that. And therefore it's, good for edema, since it's good for a water retention, which you can see there how it would be good for PMS. It's also antispasmodic, which is one of the main reasons it's so good for your kidneys and your liver. It's even supposed to it's got a lot of good studies concerning getting rid of kidney stones. So that's another great property of it. It's not in its fullness of coming out yet, so I'll be gathering this within the next month. Within the next month it really starts coming out even more. It's like I said, you know, it's the antispasmodic properties in it is what makes it so good as a lymphatic herb. Hey guys, I'm going to show you chickweed, but before I do, I'll show you my tulips. That's first time they've got to bloom here on this property, which some of them's already fading out, about to pass, you know, past their point. But they're still pretty to a degree. Show you them. I love those there. Ain't that gorgeous? I love them. And a lot of my other stuff is coming up that I planted last year that looks like it's going to get some good establishment going on this year. Can't really tell, but a lot of this is this, that. My fennel, bless its heart, that stuff that came from the other property and didn't even intend for it to. It came with another plant, but I'm glad it did. I've got seed for it though. A lot of different ones there. A lot of these are different type of herbs that I use, and a lot of them's also flowers. You can't tell, but there's some over there. There's some more tulips. I'm working on this, as you can tell. And here is my comfrey. I'm in its own light. You know, there's some of it. There's some of it. Guys, here's a copycat. Now, this looks a lot. See how the leaves on this one is rounded instead of pointed? Now, the petals will look almost like it whenever you look at it, but it's not what it is. And this is hairier than the other, and it's just a false one. It's not a true chickweed. I got a friend. Don't I, buddy? You're my friend. So I feel good. Show everybody that pretty face. Okay guys, so here I want to talk to you about chickweed. You can really see these a lot better here. See those petals there? There's actually 10 petals on those. You have to get real close to look. This is a great one to show you guys. Well, I grabbed her one. You can see that there's not one. The stalk to this has a little bit of real fine fuzz on it. Now the copycat's got a lot more fuzz than this. You see the leaves are pointed on it. And this thing tastes amazing. See that pretty good. There's actually 10 petals there. You have to separate them all to really count them good. Sometimes it only looks like there's 5. The stem on it has got real fine hairs on it, unlike the copycat I showed you. It's got a lot more fuzz on it. See, the leaves are pointed on this. And this stuff tastes awesome, guys. It really does. I love to just come down here and eat it like it is. So, let me tell you about chicory. Chicory is super high in vitamin C as well. Like we've been talking about, there's no reason for anybody really to ever go through scurvy again with everything that's out here for us to be able to eat. It's high in potassium and a lot of B complex vitamins, which makes it a superfood pretty much. Throw this in your salads anytime. See, as you'll see there's some more cleavers. Usually when you see the chickweed, you'll see your cleavers. And chickweed don't dry real good, but I'm going to dry it, and as well as my cleavers there, and for my lymphatic tea, because it is good for the lymphatic system. Excuse me, I got it in my throat. It's also good for asthma. It's also good for asthma and any type of inflammation, any kind of skin disorders. It's good for any type of skin disorder, blood disorders, even for your blood. Inflammation of any kind, I think I done said that. It can be used as a diuretic as well. So therefore, you know, it's going to be good for edema. Let's see, psoriasis. I've never made a shampoo out of it. I've thought about making a shampoo out of it, first making a tea, of course, or even using it just as a tonic on your hair. But I've never done that, so I don't know. It also will help you guys with burns, like if you got stinging nettle around, whenever you touch that stinging nettle, if you've ever felt that it leaves a burn on your skin, well, this will help take that burn out very good. And it's also good for milk flow with women. in particular, but I like to use it with my fennel. I use it with fennel to use for my goats whenever they're not lactating as good as I'd like for them to. Because fennel's really good about helping with lactation, and that's not what this is about right now, but this is a good one to add with that if you're going to use it for lactation. And as you see here, we still got a dead nettle down here. This right here is just covered with dead nettle, cleavers, and chickweed. All is what this whole thing is about. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up with this. I'll try to put some pictures on here for you so you can tell things a little better. I'm trying to make these brief. There's a lot more details that can go into some of these, and I will probably gradually go into them more just to help you guys out. But, you know, to the sake of keeping a video not too long, I'll leave it at this. So God bless you guys. I thank you guys. See you later.